What's up, everybody? I'm Kevin Clayson.
And I'm Steve Earle.
And we're here from DFY Real Estate, and in this video, we're gonna show you a step-by-step guide on how to buy your first rental property. Now, if you're watching this video, you've probably heard a few things about how successful you can be doing real estate, but you're looking for an easy way to get started, right? Well, don't worry, I got you covered. By the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly what steps to take and where to go from here. So sit back, relax, because we're about to take you on a journey into the world of rental properties. All right, everybody, you ready for this? This is gonna be your one-stop shop for everything you need to get started. So we're gonna go through an exact process of how to get the results that you want. And we've been working with clients now for over 15 years. We've been doing this for a long time. We've done nearly $700 million in real estate. And what we're gonna share with you today in this video is the precise step-by-step of how you can get started doing real estate. You ready to go? Let's go. Okay, step number one, you wanna take an inventory of your tangible assets. Now, a lot of people, when they start in real estate or they want to start in real estate, they don't know where to start. So you have to know where you are so you know where you're going to go, okay? So the first thing you want to take inventory of is, do you have income? Do you have verifiable income? Do you have a job? Are you able to trade time for money? Because that's actually a resource that you're gonna have available to you to be able to do real estate. Now, in addition to that, what kind of financial resources do you have, right? Do you need money for a down payment? Do you not need money for a down payment? How much do you have to work with? And here's the other really important piece of this tangible asset you need to take inventory of, which is time. A lot of people don't realize that there is time required in order to do real estate. So we've got a client that we love. He is a massive radio show host, and he does about 5 hours of content every single day. And here's a guy who's done really well in not in real estate, but just done really well in life. He had a lot of money. He was making good money, and he came to us and we started to advertise with him, and he's like, oh my gosh, I want to do real estate, but I don't have time. I have way too much going on. He was somebody that knew that he wanted what he wanted, but he didn't have time to get the thing that he wanted. And so time is one of those critical components. You should stay busy and good at being busy and good at what you're busy and good at, okay? Sometimes real estate will take time from you, and you don't want to add a second job. So you need to know how much you have in resources and what kind of time that you've got.
Step number two, take inventory of your hidden and non-tangible assets. So Kev, as you know, credit is one of the most important non-tangible assets that we have in our arsenal.
Well, and hold on though, but it's something that not a lot of people really think about, right? We all know we have a credit score, we have a FICO score, but we don't realize it's actually an asset.
Right, it's one of those things, you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, but it is one of those things that if you have the right credit score, if you have a 720 or better, you're gonna get a much better interest rate, and you're gonna be able to do some great things.
And if you have a 500 or lower, you should just go home.
Pretty much.
Just kidding, it's fine. It's fine, we love you. You can still do real estate.
So the next non-tangible asset are relationships. Relationships are powerful. Oftentimes,
you have to have your people.
Oftentimes relationships is one of those things that you can use in partnerships.
And it's relationships not just with people, but it could be relationships with companies or with providers, right? So if you're going to do real estate, you probably should have a relationship with a loan officer or with a real estate agent or somebody like that that can help assist you as you're getting into the real estate game.
Right, another important non-tangible asset is your temperament. You know, real estate is inherently painful. It's one of those things that at some point in the future, you're going to experience some pain.
In fact, we even say sometimes that real estate sucks. Because while it can do a lot of good things, it can be incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, exactly. And so you need to have the right mindset and the right temperament. Another non-tangible asset is education, Kev. It's one of those things that, you know, what do you know about real estate? It's something that takes time to learn. It takes time to get experience. And sometimes you got to either have education through hard knocks or education through actual education.
And we'll talk more about this on this channel, but just to be clear, education is not the end all be all. Education is just one piece. It's one of these non-tangible assets. Do not rely on it as something like a tangible asset because education can be a little bit fluid.
Yeah. So another non-tangible asset is desire, just the desire to actually do real estate. It's one of those things where you may not have all of the assets in place, the tangible, the non-tangible, but it's something that you really want to do. In fact, you were talking about our buddy Buck and how he really wanted to do real estate, but he didn't have the time, he didn't have the knowledge, he didn't have, you know, all of the things in place, but that desire was there, and ultimately, after he met us, that desire was manifest in actually doing real estate.
And just a word of the wise, desire has to be more than just making money. So we'll talk all about it, you guys. If you stick with us and you're part of this channel and you're watching these videos, understand that desire is critical. But if the only desire you have is to make money, real estate may not be for you because, like we said, real estate can suck. Okay, step number 3 is you need to evaluate your needs and develop a plan. So I used to travel all over and I'd go speak for our company and for other reasons. And one of my favorite things to do is when I travel to a new city and I don't have anything to do, my family's at home, I go see a movie. And a lot of times the movie theater is at the mall. And have you ever been to a mall that you've never been to before and you're trying to find something like the movie theater? Where do you go when you enter the mall? You look for the mall map, right? And there's 3 pieces of information critical on this mall map. Number 1 is this little star that says you are here. And then you need to know where you're going. For me, the movie theater, probably to watch one of the Breaking Dawn movies or something like that. Don't tell my wife. And then you need to know how to get from here to there. Those 3 pieces of information are a plan. So you evaluate your needs and you know where you want to go and you have to develop a plan. If you don't have a plan, you wander around in space and you may never get where you're trying to go.
Kev, do you remember an individual who has worked with us for many years now? His name is Ron Diviak.
Yeah.
So Ron was this incredible individual. And one day he was driving down the freeway with his special needs son and they heard one of our ads on the radio. And his son actually really kind of grabbed onto the ad and he said, "Dad, we need to buy some of this real estate." And his dad was kind of like, What are you talking about? And so then he ended up, giving us a call. He talked to us. And long story short, at first he was like, I don't know if I could do this. This seems really risky, but maybe I'll try one and we'll see how it goes. And so he went ahead and he purchased his first property. He brought together all of his resources, both tangible and intangible. And he purchased his first property. And he kind of waited to see what would happen. And within that time period, within the first few years, he realized that, hey, this is working really well. I'm going to buy another one. So Ron's main fear in life was, what am I going to do when I'm gone? How is my son going to be taken care of?
Well, and he used to say that he would have nightmares when he would think about the future because he didn't know what the plan was going to be and where it was going to go.
His kind of traditional retirement plan just hadn't cut it. And he was very fearful about what was going to happen with his son. And so he made this first investment. He took the plunge. He got going and he found that the first property worked really well. Well, long story short, over the next 10 years, he purchased 10 properties.
10 properties. See, you just got to start with one.
and it does. It just starts with one. And so he went through the process and now he owns 10 properties. He now sits back and he's told us multiple times that it's like, I used to have these nightmares and now I don't. And he's moving forward in life with confidence that his son will be well taken care of.
Okay, we still have 2 more steps to share with you, but before we do, I just want to say thank you for watching. I know I'm hard to look at, so it means a lot. This channel, it's all about showing you the tips and tricks to get started in real estate, just like Ron, whose story you just heard. And all we want to do is help you win and make millions in real estate. And if you don't want to make millions, we want to help you make hundreds. We want to help you do more than you've done up to this point. And so we're going to be sharing videos about how to replace your income so you can retire early, so you can create generational wealth for you and your family. And if you want to find out how to find the best properties for sale or how to buy the best properties, this channel's for you. If you want to find out what markets you should be investing in, the mentality you need to have, especially in a recession, this channel is for you. We want to set your family up for success with wealth that outlives you. This needs to be about more than today and more about cash generated today. This is a way. This channel, this video is a way. If you subscribe, we get to work with you and help you for many months to come so that you can begin changing your reality bit by bit, one property at a time. So please make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video and we are gonna roll on with step number 4.
So step number 4, get pre-approved, not pre-qualified. You know what? There's nothing worse than putting a property under contract after spending thousands of dollars on an appraisal and inspections, only to find out that you don't actually have enough to close.
And here's the thing, you guys, there is a difference between pre-approval and pre-qualification. Any loan officer on the planet can ask you what you make, ask you what you think your credit is, and say, you're pre-qualified. It's like a gold star that you get put on your forehead. It means nothing. Pre-qualification is nothing more than words. Pre-approval, that's the real deal. That's the legit stuff.
Yeah, pre-approval is actually getting underwritten. And that's what we do with our clients is we underwrite you before you even start looking at a property.
Here's the deal. Don't just look to get pre-qualified, make sure you get pre-approved. That means you're gonna have to do a little bit more work in order to get pre-approved, but this is a critical piece. As you're looking at your first investment property, one of the best ways to get out of real estate and to stop doing it is you take all of the steps that we've described up to this point. You get pre-qualified because a loan officer says you are. You go put a property under contract, you spend all this money, and all of a sudden you can't buy the property, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, why did I try this? I knew it wasn't gonna work. This was pointless. So don't do yourself the disservice of just getting pre-qualified. Make sure you get pre-approved.
Well, and Kev, pre-approval also actually helps you understand like what you're capable of doing.
It's part of that plan.
All of your resources are laid out on the table. You know exactly what you have for a down payment. You know how much house or property that you can buy. You know how much payment you can do. You know whether you can buy 2 properties or just 1 property or maybe 3 properties. So it's super important to get pre-approved before you start looking for a property.
Yeah, it's different than the letter you get in the mail from the credit card company that says you're pre-approved. We're talking about like a real pre-approval, okay? Happy to help you work through that. Now, let's get on to step number 5 and we can wrap this video, okay? Step number 5, you need to know what to buy before you're gonna buy it, which means you need to know your numbers, which is why the pre-approval is important, which is why it's important that you have a little bit of a plan in place so you know what's gonna happen. I've got somebody very close to me who was really excited to buy real estate. They were like, this is gonna be great, I'm gonna buy real estate, it's amazing. And they hadn't run the numbers, they didn't know what they could qualify for, they had no idea. They thought they wanted this beautiful home in which they could bring all the friends over for some sort of bougie dinner party and say, look at my home. Listen, they were looking at all the wrong property in all the wrong places. And as soon as they tried to go under contract, they would then try to go get pre-approved and try to buy the property, and they could not qualify. And they threw up their hands and they said, forget it. We're not going to do it. Guys, all of these steps are important so that we want you to actually take action and do real estate, not just hang back on the sidelines any longer, just thinking about doing it. So what if you're ready to get into real estate, but the thought of having to be a landlord or these horrible tenants is just too much to bear? Investing in single family rentals is one of the smartest things you could do to combat inflation, to beat the stock market, and to save on taxes. And now there's a new way to invest in rentals without having to visit a single property or take a single tenant phone call or fix any leaky toilets ever. Done for you real estate offers a turnkey investment approach where these properties are managed by professionals so you can sit back and relax while your money works for you. We can find you the property, we can finance it for you, we can insure it for you, we can get it fixed up for you, we can get it rented out for you, you get a tenant, and the cool part is you make 100% of the profit, you make 100% of the gain. This channel is dedicated to people like you looking to make a difference in their life, and maybe real estate can be a part of that. Our properties are chosen specifically for their high ROI potential, so you know your investment will grow over time. So Steve, if you're ready to learn more about how DFY Real Estate can help you invest in real estate, click the link in the description below and set up a call with our team, and we get to hang out and we get to talk about all kinds of cool stuff, and you get to begin changing your life and replacing your income one property at a time.